Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be part 2 of the YZ85 rebuild. We're going to be working on the suspension today, specifically breaking down the forks. I'm going to send off the chrome lowers to get DLC coated. We're going to do some Cerakote on the fork legs and the uppers and just kind of refresh everything. The seals were leaking on these things. There's some spray paint on the uppers. We're just going to clean them up, get them looking fresh, and yeah, we'll go from there. Spin. Tight. Break it loose. Take this all the way off. It's your cap. You got your compression rod in here that you can go ahead and pull. It's going to pull up a lot of oil, so. Okay. Pull the washer. I'm going to press this back down. Pull this up. Why you can let that drop. There's your spring. Just lost that one there. There's a couple washers that I forgot about. Just want to pump this thing, get some of this fluid to come out. So now that we got the oil drained, we need to take this seal off. There's a little clip inside there, looks similar to this, that we need to extract, and then we can pop this out and separate these two pieces here. There we go. Finally pop loose. Holy cow. So you can see that little clip in here, up here. It goes around the whole thing. Just got to find the first opening where that's unclipped, and stick either a flathead in there and try to pry it up, or maybe like a little hook tool. This little hook tool in there is able to just pop that first part out. Maybe go to the next one, next little opening. We'll pop that one out. That should be able to slide this piece off and down. Now what you got to do, with this clip out of the way, is just slide hammer this out. Might take a couple good jolts of it, but it should come out just like that. Probably still going to have residual oil or fluid coming out everywhere, so good to have a towel on hand. Now we're just going to remove all of this from this lower fork leg. So here's a split ring. You're just going to pry apart just a little bit with your fingers. Should slide over just like that. So this should slide out. There's part number one. This just slides right over everything. The thick washer here slides over. Your seal. There's that clip that we took out earlier. Then I believe this is called your dust seal. Forgive me if I don't get the names right, but this is your lower portion. Help keep all the dirt out. See how, if I can get this thing to focus, how dirty that is right there. Doing its job. So now we've got everything off of the upper part of your lower fork attachment there, all the way down to your leg. We will be taking this off too, but from here what we're going to do is get this out, because this thing rod actually has a stop on it internally, about right in here somewhere. So we've got to take this plug out of the end, get a 14 millimeter hex drive on there, and I'll show you this plug out. Just a rubber plug here, which exposes your lower adjustment screw. Now we're going to put this 14 millimeter hex in here and break it loose. So I got this strapped down to a vise that I can move this around my workbench, so it helps hold weird odds and ends, things like this. So this 14 millimeter will break loose. Let's see if I can hold it. Not too bad. But now, you notice this thing is going to spin indefinitely. So what you have to do, get that out of the way, is on this end, there's actually a little key in here that sits at the top of that. It looks like this, that you're going to have to put a screwdriver in one of these gaps here to help prevent this internal rod from just spinning in there, because you have to unthread it from the bottom of this. I think a screwdriver will work now. There we go. So it just barely slid in there. Now just hold it from spinning. It doesn't take, honestly, any effort at all. And this will now start to come out. This unthreads all the way. Should be good. Get it by hand. There's your lower valve. This has all kinds of grime on it. Look how dirty this fluid more than likely has never been replaced in its life. So not surprising with the rest of how the bike has been taking this thing apart. Take your screwdriver back out. And now this internal damping rod goes all the way out. So there you go. Fluid left in this thing. Pour that out. This lower fork tube chrome is two pieces essentially, this piece and this piece. There's nothing else that is in this that needs to be taken apart, and there's nothing else on here. There is a set screw here that we will take out here in a second. That way we can, when we heat this up, we can thread this off of here. If you don't have some soft jaws like this, these I just ordered off of Amazon. Comes with just a standard block, but this is pretty soft plastic. So whenever you put things in here like this, it really doesn't deform the metal, but these hold really well. This has a couple grooves in here for round items like this, so I'm using a little round item here. And all this does is magnetize to this part here. So I highly recommend getting a pair of soft jaws like this. Otherwise, you could just wrap a towel around it, but I don't suggest that. It's really easy at that point to make marks on here, crush things and things like that. So you always want to use a set of soft jaws if you can. So now from here, I have this clamped here. I'm going to put a screwdriver at the bottom of this and just loosen this up. So having a little bit of an issue with it. So we're just going to heat this up ever so slightly. I wouldn't do this for more than about 15 or 20 seconds just to try to loosen some of that thread locker or whatever they put on from the factory. So now we got it loose. This thing should just thread out. Still kind of warm from heating it up. This has some thread locker in there, so you know it's going to be tight for sure. Pull that out. Now this whole thing separates from this. Here's your lower valve. This should slide freely. There shouldn't be any nicks or anything on this. And all I'm going to do is visually check, make sure there's nothing that I need to replace in here. I'm not going to do anything with the valving on this bike. If it's stock, it's stock. If whatever it is, if it's been messed with in the past, I'm really not going to mess with the valving on this. More importantly, I just need to take everything apart, verify that there isn't anything wrong with it, but also I'm sending off this my lower my two lower chrome pieces from my forks, as well as my shock shaft off to get DLC coated. I know that's nothing that this bike actually needs, especially for my son that's going to be riding it. It's more of a cosmetic thing. It does make it a little slicker and less friction and all that science behind it, but honestly, it doesn't need it, but we're doing it anyways. So I'm sure there's better tools than what I'm about to show you in order to take these two pieces apart. This is how I got my other one apart. This is how I've done it in the past. Again, maybe not ideal. There is a lot of thread locker and stuff in here. Importantly, there's a set screw on the other side similar to this. There's a set screw in there, so we need to take that out first. And then we're going to apply about 30 to 45 seconds worth of heat in here, loosen up some of that thread locker. And then up here where there's, you can see the screw here, the hole here, can slide a screwdriver through there. That way you can break this apart. I would never clamp to this because this is fairly thin metal and it's easy to crush or nick or do something bad to this chrome. You don't really ever want to deal with any of this. Now again, there's probably better tools out there for doing this work, but this is what works for me. This is what might work for you as well. So let's get this little set screw taken out and some heat put on this. Not sure the camera's actually going to focus on this, but that's all it is right there. Some heat to this, a little bit more than what we already have. Just gotta work it left or right, up, down, side to side. Don't stay in one place too long. Create a machine you don't need. Kind of want to try to heat it evenly. So my visual cue that it's getting hot enough is there's smoke coming out of this end here. It's not on fire or anything, but obviously it's very warm. It's very warm down here, so always be careful on that one. Now we're going to get a screwdriver that fits. Put this through there.
Six and a half hours later.
Well, guys, this was not easy. This took a lot of heat, a lot of effort. I don't know what was different about this side, but I've been at this thing for a better part of an hour. It is really dirty in here. There's a lot. Holy moly. That was not fun. But I got it, guys. Look. So we've got, let's make a mess of this. So we've got side one down, which again, this one way different. I mean, this took me 30 seconds to take off after I heated it up. At most 30 seconds. I mean, it should not be that difficult. Then I got upper tube, spring, inner rod, all of the other parts. I'm going to clean all this stuff up. I've already got new seals. New seals from All Balls. Fork and dust seals. It actually came with the bike. I didn't have to buy that, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, much success. So there you have it, guys. That's how you take apart 2019 YZ85 forks, all the way down to 95% of the parts. Obviously, like I said, I'm not taking apart the actual valving of the shocks. I think that's, you know, it's going to be fine for my kid. I did want to just depict on how to break these things down. Once I get the parts back from DLC and all that stuff, I'm going to put everything back together. I'll make another video showing all that stuff. I am going to Cerakote some of the parts that are on those legs. So I'll go through that process as well. I'm already in the process of breaking down the engine, and I'll cut to that after this, but that's going to be the next part, is motor breakdown. I figured out that the crank is in fact bad, so I need to order a crank or send this one off. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but the fork's broken down. Just trying to chip away at this project. It's going to be quite a bit. I want to do a lot for it. You know, I'm not just going to break it down, clean everything, and put it back together. I'm upgrading a lot of stuff. I'm going to Cerakote a lot of stuff. There's going to be a lot of upgrades. So yeah, stick with me for part 3. I'll try to, like I said, get a video out once a week, maybe a little bit more than that, depending on how fast I get these parts back and stuff like that. So yeah, if you, again, like this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in part 3.